All right, shalom, shalom, Shabbat
Shalom.
shalom,
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom.
shalom.
All right, Hebrew Israelites, GMS Louisiana Saints, Lafayette Branch, coming back at you with another live lesson. But before we go any further, we're going to stand, face the east. We give infinite honors and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last seconds of time. And here you have in America, okay, where we're at the brink of Jacob's trouble, martial law, all right. You have what's called so-called election day, all right, Tuesday, November the 11th, where kids are left out of school, all right. It's somewhat of a holiday, but it's all to push forward a system that's failing, to push forward a system that has no resolution and no solution for you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes. So as you go out and cast a vote, giving it over to your oppressor, all right, giving over your ways and your thoughts to your oppressor, the election have already been decided. Who you vote for? Who you vote for? You got it, brother. I get it for you. First review. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 14, it says, when thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Because the Most High, he's a separatist. All right, he makes it clear throughout the Bible, time after time, that he chooses Israel over all the other nations. Yes, he created all the nations, but out of those nations, he chose Israel to be peculiar, to be set aside, man, for his own. But it says, verse 15, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee.
That's right. Want me to speak on that?
Yeah, you can speak.
Okay. So the Lord said that, again, like the brother was going into, the Lord is a separatist. So basically, you want to set somebody, of your own kind, all right,
Yeah.
that ultimately has your same interests, man, your same things in common, your same heritage, and so forth and so on, man. If you continue on,
Yep.
Sure.
Deuteronomy 17 and 15 again. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. And the Lord chose Israel, but out of Israel the Lord chose who? That root of Jesse, offspring of David, Yahushua, man. It tells you in Hebrews the 7th chapter, it's evident that our Lord sprang out of the tribe of Judah. So yes, the Most High chose Israel, but out of Israel he chose Judah to be that chief tribe. All right. But out of Judah he chose Yahushua, man. So we have our king already. We're just waiting patiently for the Lord to deliver us. The elect or the election have been chosen from the foundations of the earth, man. We don't need an election, all right, to choose and set up a king over us, man. That's against our law. Like we're going to read Deuteronomy 17 and 15, the latter end, it says, one from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
That's right, man. So again, the Lord chooses, or the Lord asks of you to choose somebody of your own kindred, man, someone of your own tribe, or someone that is of Israel to rule over you, man. All right, why is that? Because if you choose a heathen, what is a heathen going to do? A heathen is going to stray you away from your customs, your ways, and your understanding.
Right.
Your original understanding of how to do things, man. You're going to start worshiping their gods and their traditions and their so-called holidays and so forth and so on. So that's why the Lord made that separation in saying, choose a man that is of Israel to rule over you, man, because they're going to guide you in the right way, because Israel was given the law, statutes, and commandments, not these other nations. So they're naturally going to push you away from the Lord and doing what you're really supposed to be doing. All right. Let's see.
All right.
I got one
I
up.
got a little bit more on that.
Okay.
It says, the letter in the 15 again, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. And we know Esau, Edom, all right, pertaining to Amos, it's the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 9. All right, he broke that brotherly covenant, man. He remembered it not. So you're likened unto a stranger because you're not of the covenants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. You're outside of that covenant. But starting with Esau on down to the least of the heathen nations, man. Moab, Ishmael, Ammon, all right, etc. On and on, man. Pertaining to Psalms 83rd chapter, they came against us to strategize to cut us off. And this whole so-called voting day, election day, all right, here in America, is just another tool, man, of Esau and these other nations to do what? Set up a stranger over you, follow after his ways, his customs, his guidelines. It's a criteria in order to be a political figure here in America, man. It's a criteria you have to follow, or they won't put you to the forefront, man. And that criteria is what? That cup of juice, man, Babylonian juice that our people follow, man. The Lord made it specific, said, hey, don't set a stranger over you, all right? Set one of your brethren. And we go into the history of Israel, all right? You had Israelite kings, man. You didn't have, look at the book of the Judges, all right? Before the United Kingdom, man. Up and on down to the split, man. You had the kings of the northern kingdom and the kings of the southern kingdom, man, of Israelite descent, man. So the Lord prohibits us from setting up strangers over us because what? Our people will start taking on to that cloth, their shadows. You got it, huh?
I got a quick one backing you up.
All right, it's just Amos 1 and 9. It says, thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, it's likened unto Esau Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom and remembered not the brotherly covenant. You got it, brother.
All right. You want this?
Yeah, just like we said, man, not setting up that stranger over you, man.
Yeah.
All right, because the covenant of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai through faith in Yahushai is not given on to any other nation outside of Israel, man. They can't come back to the law, statutes, commandments because they weren't given them. How can you come back to something that you weren't given in the first place? In order to come back to something, it has to have been given to you. You have to have once had it. And that's likened unto Israel with the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? We fell off. The Lord discontinued us from being a nation, according to Jeremiah the 17th chapter. But then we had to be brought back into remembrance, rehearsing the righteous acts as the ways we were before, but now it's through faith. This is a faith-based thing. The apostles always say that. You got it, brother.
All right, this is First Maccabees 1 and 11. And in those days, when there went out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, Shalakia, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So that's likened to today with this whole voting situation. They're making a covenant. They're making an agreement. Oh, can you vote for me? A lot of these people, a lot of these, these politics, they go to your house, knock on your door. Hey, can I put my,
He being a demon. He being a demon, you know? Yeah, he being a super demon. You be circumspect. So, you got that.
Yeah. Can I put my sign out here in the front of your yard? So forth and so on, man. But again, it says, let me read it again. This is First Maccabees 1 and 11. And in those days went out Israel wicked men who persuade many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And a lot of these jakes, man, they vote for Esau, right? They vote for these other nations, man. All right, and a lot of these, political seats, you don't really see Israel in there, man. Especially like in the upper, offices, like the Senate houses and the seats
right
up there,
Senate.
And the White House.
Exactly, bro.
That's right. Right. So you don't see Jake in those areas, in those high positions of power, because it's already been laid out, to keep you at a base level, man, to make you have the idea that you have, the option of freedom of choice and being able to elect who you want in there.
Right. And just like you said, because you could liken that onto Yahweh Shem Shai's kingdom. Because what Esau does is it's already been decided. You go out, that's just the bread and circus part of it. You going out to the polls and getting all in that mindset of I voted, my choice, wearing the stickers. Esau just wants you to be in that lollygag state. But these higher up leaders have already been decided. Right. Who the next president, mayor, so on and so forth, governor, chief of this, chief of that, senator. Those things are likely already been decided, man. Even down to the smallest branches, nothing but corruption. Exactly. And then Esau has you in that mindset, but then spiritually, you're in La La Land because he took away from you with that snare. It's Isaiah 31:1. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many." You want to speak on that?
Oh, Shalaki, you can read it one more time.
Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
That's right. So woe unto you people who go into these politics and think that because they have all this money and they looked at in the society as a high power, instead of going to the Lord, who is the ultimate judge. Because when we read Daniel, it says that what the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So we really should be praying to Yahweh Shem Shai, to bring forth our kingdom in righteousness, because we know that this kingdom isn't righteous, man. Look at the laws that they set up. Look.
Try to speak over it.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they got these different laws that set up that are totally contrary to the scriptures. So who ought we should pray to and ask the Lord to put in position of power, rather than man, because they corrupt. The scriptures say that
What about now?
Okay. Just wait for the body.
Yeah.
All right.
We good. Read the letter in. It's Isaiah 31:1. It says, "But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord."
That's right. So they look not to the Holy One of Israel, neither they seek the Lord, man. All right. So they look not to Yahweh Shem Shai to save them out of their situations that they found themselves in. To call on their Lord, man. They call on their power. All right. They looked at man as their God, man. All right. And that's what our people are doing today, man. All right. At the polls, looking for men.
You get that picture, Democrats and Republicans.
Looking for men to get them out of their situations, man, when they have their own problems as well. They're in the same boat as you. Right?
Sure, man.
And there you have a picture of Democrats. There you have the Democrats and the Republican. All right, the two heads. Two feathers of the same bird, man. All right. These people are no different, man. All right. These two people are no different. These are the people that you have in Congress. Oh, with that guy.
Yeah, man. behind those faces, all right, those white cloths, okay, because those white cloths do not represent righteousness, man. On them, okay, the white is representation of the righteousness of the saints of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, not these devils, man. All right, these devils right here that you see in this picture are likened onto all across the country these different political leaders that do these manners of wickedness behind closed doors, man, and try to hide their counsel from the Lord, but the Lord is all your wickedness, man. Yep. The Lord is controlling you, in fact, man. You got it. You got the information on them, the article I sent you? No. Destruction of this society. All right, the Most High is going to take down this society, Esau, and render you, yep, Isaiah 29, and as the picture we just showed is just going to go into Isaiah 29 and 15. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. Get that picture, all right? They're seeking deep to hide their counsel, man. All right, but the Lord puts the Spirit on them to reveal themselves, man. As the scriptures tell you, their own tongue shall fall upon themselves, man. The Lord has this information out here, man. All right, on these so-called leaders, political leaders of this society, that are nothing more than so-called prejudice, all right, devils, man. That's right. Who've been persecuting the children of Israel for centuries, man, since they've been in power, man, Hellenizing us, all right, feeding us bread and circus, man. By the whole time, they're ruling this thing in deep counsel, man, and wickedness. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Oh, I'm gonna put on this regalia. I'm gonna put on this this outfit. They're not gonna know I'm actually the mayor. I'm actually the chief of police. I'm actually the sheriff. Yeah. You got it, brother. Even goes in far as their secret society as well, like the Bohemian Grove. When that guy, that conspiracy theorist, Alex, he went over there and he started videotaping. All you seen him was what, in big robes and clothes of all of these high end officials and people that were in the celebrities. You had your Democrats and your Republicans, so forth and so on, all attending this Bohemian Grove, man, celebrating in these rituals, so that's a part of it as well, that they hide, knowing that they all really apart, they all together, man, they're all working for the same agenda. That's right. All right, I got some information. This is from history.com. It's called Triple K, and we showed the picture, all right, on the screen, but we're just gonna say Triple K for the purposes of the video. All right, it says Triple K. It says the founding of the Triple K. Founded in 1865, the Triple K extended into almost every southern state by 1870. So you're talking about Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, all right, the southern regions, Florida, okay, up to North Carolina, all right, was a plague of slavery, man, all right, ruled by these devils, those devils the brother showed you, man. These are the same ones that are pulling the strings to this day politically, man, doing the same things, man, because this Triple K, all right, it's alive and well today, man, all right. It's just waiting to be brought to the forefront. The Lord is doing that, man. The Lord is putting that spirit out that our people are waking up, man. They're waking up to the devil's agenda, man, and his devices. But it says in every southern state by 1870 and became a vehicle for white southern resistance to the Republican Party restructuring. You see, it says became a vehicle. So they so-called created this whole movement of Triple K to so-called be a vehicle for white southern resistance. Now think about how that sounds like. That's how you know that's bones right there, man. All right, that's lies, man. So Esau put certain things in here to try to make himself look good. Oh, it wasn't just a particular group that was targeted. It wasn't these so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes. What about us? We were being persecuted. No, man, you were doing the persecution, man. That's right. All right, but it says, and you can stop me whenever point, huh? It says to the Republican Party's Reconstruction era policies aimed at establishing political. I'm gonna let this pass. It says aimed at establishing political and economic equality for Black Americans. More bones, right?
More bones.
You got it,
That's right. Can you read it one more time?
It says aimed at establishing political and economic equality for Black Americans.
And we know that's not the case, man. All right, we know that's not the case because, like the brother said, you know, they wanted to further oppress, you know, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man.
That's right.
All right. It wasn't to be for their benefit, man. And that's a lot. That's what they're doing today, man. In these systems, in these school systems, man. They're trying to erase the history of what really went on, and you know, within America, man, because they're really ashamed. You know, they're ashamed of all the things that they've done to our people, man. All right, and if you bring these things up, man, we're hated. We looked at it as people who preach hate, man. But yet but you the one who started it, man. You know, I'm gonna say like what's his name? I believe it was Denzel Washington. He said, "Is the sheep?" You know, he said, "Is the sheep wrong for fighting against the wolf if he continues to oppress him and try to do everything to try to kill him?" Yeah. You know, or is the wolf wrong?
The characteristics of a wolf is to eat that sheep, to devour that sheep. Exactly. So how can you blame the sheep for wanting his life?
Yeah, that's what the
for wanting to live. Right, bro, you got it. I got one after you.
That's what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that I see you as sheep amongst wolves, man.
Right, bro.
You know, and one of those wolves, you know, is Esau Edom, man. Even our own people, but Esau Edom, man, for sure. You know, again with his policies. You got any more on that?
Oh yeah, it says aimed at establishing political and economic equality for Black Americans, and we know that's a lie, man. This was established to terrorize the so-called Black community, terrorize the Israelite community. Go ahead and block this, bro. Yeah. Terrorizing the so-called Black community, which was the Israelite community, man. It was strictly invented for this, man. So we know that the Lord put that hell on us ultimately because we went off, man. Because they were, for instance, you'll have a man that was unjustly put up in jail for a crime, right? So an Israelite that was unjustly jailed for a crime, so they put him up to be hanged, right? So now you got the mob that comes, the Triple K, they come. You got members of the community behind those masks,
right?
Number so-called righteous members, so-called Christians, right? But you brutalized and murdered our people, castrated them, man. Hang them for no reason and no just cause at all, man, for false accusations. But I got one out.
Hey, just like that movie, I'm pretty sure a lot of brothers already watch it, which is Rosewood, man. When that lady, when that woman, she falsely accused and said that a Black man raped her, right? Then what did they do? You know, these Triple Kers, man, they went out and killed Jake. You know,
slaughtered him.
Jake, man, slaughtered him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Based on a true story too,
yeah,
man. You got it.
Yeah, and they didn't regard young nor old, man. They didn't care who he was.
Took it into their own hands unjustly. That's what the Lord said. He got that perpetual hatred for us, man. And a part of his schemes, his hatred for us, he's subtle with it. The scriptures tell you in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the serpent was the subtle beast of the field, man. The subtle nation the most subtle nation on the planet Earth, man. He's not only going to do it with physical force, he's going to do it through his philosophies, his voting polls, his ballots, his strategies. Oh, this person is better, that person is better. 2 wings on the same bird going to the same direction, left wing, right wing. There's no coincidence that it's called that, man. They're going to the same destination. How can a bird fly with 1 wing? Can 2 walk together except they be agreed? You know what I mean? So, same thing for flying. But this is prayer of Azariah, chapter 1, verse 6. It says, "For we," and this is heavy. This is heavy one, just going into the transgressions of Israel and what got us here, man. Our own going off, man. So we see things like the Triple K, and we bring it out for edification purposes. because these things actually happen, man. All right, we're not asking for we're not holding up picket signs and saying, hey man, you need to make some better rights. You need to be a better senator, be a better governor, man. The Lord said the judge is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. He pulled it up one, he pulled it down one, and raised up another, man. That's what the Lord is going to do to Babylon. All right, starting with all these philosophies, political, economical, so on and so forth. But it says, prayer of Azariah chapter 1, verse 6, for we have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from thee. In all things have we trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us. So if we do what the Lord requires us, it's going to go well.
That's right.
If we do what the Lord commands us, everything will be fine. Life will be peaceful. All right, our people started getting that sword put on them for going off, man, for worshiping other gods, worshiping other idols. And this whole so-called voting ballot process is just a part of it, man. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Biden. You worshiping them, man.
Right.
Why not have that same energy with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man? Jay don't have that same energy when it comes to your creator that can get you out of this situation that he put you in for putting yourself in it, man. So we owe the Lord a lot, man. We got to keep pushing. But it says, verse 7, in all things have we trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us. Wherefore all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment. You see? So the Lord done everything that the Lord has done is down from us being persecuted by this triple K, by us being persecuted through these philosophies, through these voting days, man. The Lord has done that, put us in this predicament in true judgment, man. The Lord's not wrong, man. How Jake say, you're not wrong, you're not wrong, you're right, you're right. The Lord ain't wrong, man. The Lord put us in this in true judgment, man. So the Lord is right. That's why the Lord is going to judge this place in true judgment. Indignation. It's going to be righteous. It's going to be fair, man. There's going to be equality. So all those things y'all are searching for in the next up-and-coming mayor, senator, governor, alderman, whatever it may be, man, find that in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Because as we're going to go into, the election or the elect have already been decided, man, from the beginning.
That's right.
But it says, and thou did deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies. Lawless enemies. That's a perfect example of lawless. Taking matters into their own hands, man. Lawless enemies, man. They put up and say, okay, well, this is the law you have to follow, but they're not following it themselves. They're keeping their own laws, all right? The Lord doesn't want us to follow after these heathens, man, or set them over us. The Lord said he already chose the king, and the king has chosen us, his friends, man. We're going to be invited to their wedding, a spiritual wedding, and this is spiritual wedding rehearsal. But it says, prayer of Azariah, chapter 1, verse 9, and thou did deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of the Most High, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world. You see, go back to what you brought out in Deuteronomy. Yeah, that's strange, man. This is an unjust king, man. How can you want to play ball in a court, in an arena of an unjust king, man? It's not going to be a fair game. You're always going to get cheated.
That's right. You got the ref. All right, that's behind.
Ref working for him.
Yeah.
The fans working for him. The field, the equipment working for him.
Right. That's right.
Hey, what's the last one that says, verse 10? And now we cannot open up our mouths. We are become a shame and reproach to thy servants and to them that worship thee. You see? To the Lord's servants, man. His handmaids, man. They ain't the starters in the Lord's playing field, man. They're not even the bench warmers, man. You know what I'm saying?
No. That's right.
They're fans, man.
They just in the crowd, huh?
We traded our glory onto these devils, man, onto these heathens, man. All the glory the Lord gave us, we win it every time we go give it over to Esau. Go give it over to strangers, man. Those who keep not the covenant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man, through faith in Yahushua Mashiach. You got it, bro.
All right, I got one real quick. This is Isaiah 1:3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. All right. It says, but Israel does not know, my people does not consider. So, it's like in the ox, because the ox is loyal to its owner. But it's saying here, it says what? Ox know its owner, but Israel does not know, my people does not consider, man. They don't consider the Lord, man. All right? They don't consider themselves being the chosen people of the house of Israel.
Yeah.
That's a lot of our people are waking up right now, but a lot of our people are still saying, "Oh, we ain't no Israelites, man. We ain't."
They're gonna be confounded.
Yeah.
They're gonna be confounded.
We ain't no jinx, man.
In true judgment too.
That's right.
You're gonna be confounded in true judgment. Just like we was put here in true judgment, the Lord don't miss a beat. He don't miss a step. The Lord is perfect in all his ways, man. All right. Jake is clumsy. Jacob is all over the place. Moab, that's my guy. Ishmael, that's my guy.
Allah.
You know?
So forth and so on.
Faithful to a failing system, man. But believe and hold, the Most High has something coming right up for this place in true judgment. And it's going to be righteous. And it's going to shake this place like it's never been shaken before, man.
Got a little bit more.
You got it.
Unless you got something. You got it.
I have one after you.
Okay. This is verse 4, Isaiah 4. Isaiah 1 and 4. It says, a sinful nation, a people laid with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, that have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. So how they've gone away backwards? By worshiping these other gods, by not serving their power, not considering their power, by setting up these other nations as their political leaders and their governors and so forth and so on.
And that's our people. They love having someone ruling over them, man. Like this society is upside down, man. Like back in Isaiah 29, Esau's work is esteemed as the potter's clay onto the elect, man. We see what you're doing, Esau. So for 2/3 of our people that don't see what you're doing, just imagine what type of folly they're in, man. They're just following this blind. Be blind leaders of the blind, man. Don't know what's coming down on them, man. But that's going to be in true judgment. Whatever does come down on you, we know there's going to be calamities, pestilence, famine, all right, great death, violence, and it's going to be in true judgment, man. I got something after you.
All right. Why should God, it says, why shall ye be stricken anymore? Why should the Lord continue to judge you? It says, ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. So there you go, man. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint, man. So our people need healing, man. They need to be restored. The only way that we're going to be able to have that is by Yahweh Shai coming back, man. We need that divine intervention, for the whole world and for our people, just to restore and get that real reset,
right. That's what Shiloh is. Yeah. Going to Shiloh is tranquility. So it's peace, it's rest, it's restoration. Everything is in its right estate. So it's heavenly. It's angelic, man. That's why we're going to need spiritual bodies. All right, it's Revelation 13. I'm going to start at 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Can you break it down? Say it one more time.
Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He is the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's right. So here's the patience and the faith of the saints, man. This is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for Esau to be put in shackles, put in bondage, all right? And we're waiting for, that judgment to come, which is, that all the people, all the gainsayers that said what they said against the men of the Lord, man, all these years, starting from our apostles on down to, the least of us, the Lord recompensing, man, them for their iniquity, for, their words, man,
And Esau, it's going to be your turn, man. You're going to get it the worst, Esau. So all this time you spend persecuting us, it's not going to seem like much to us, but to you, this captivity that you're about to go into is going to seem like a whole lot, man. it's really, really going to be in true judgment, man. Like we keep bringing out.
Like I say too,
Yeah.
like back in the day as a kid, you know, time kind of like time felt like it was like slow because you enjoyed it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we was at like, you know, as a kid, you don't have no worries, you don't have no cares. So that's like the kingdom. We're not gonna have no worries, no cares. So you are gonna be catching the motel, so you know it's gonna be drawn out, man. The days are gonna be longer. We're gonna be enjoying it. You know, we're gonna enjoy our days, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And this is Proverbs 11:31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. There's two classifications right there. The wicked, Esau eating the sinner. 2/3 of our people, man. You see? So there's a recompense for both sides, the righteous and the wicked. But much more the wicked and the sinner, man, because they're gonna get everything then some, man.
Yeah.
You know you see what I'm saying? Hey, but the latter end it says much more the wicked and the sinner. And when you go back to Revelations, go back to Revelation 13:11, it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Right? Going into what? Babylon the Great, aka America, man. All right, those two horns representing the Democrats and the Republicans, man. Spake as a lamb, man. All right, and then ultimately, like it's going to get into, when we read down, it exercises the power of the first beast before it, man, going into the Roman Empire. So America is a carbon copy of the Roman Empire, even down to its political system. Like the brother got that article about the plebeians and the patricians, man.
Oh, yeah.
The Democrats and the Republicans. While you get them to read on, it says, verse 12, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, the Roman Empire, man. All right? And caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And how is the earth worshiping the first beast whose deadly wound was healed? Because through the philosophies, through the policies, it's mirroring that of ancient Rome. So these people are simultaneously worshiping ancient Rome at the same time. Through the policies, through the way of life, through the doctrines, through the wine, through the democracy, all right? Through the feminism, you say it like that. Mm-hmm. Through its ways, man. You got it, brother. Yeah. It's an article going into the plebeians and patricians of ancient Rome. It says Roman citizens were divided up, Osalaki, this is from Ducksters.com, ancient Rome, plebeians and patricians. Roman citizens were divided up into two distinct classes. I'm going to read this again. It says, Revelation 13:12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And Esau Edom, that deadly wound was healed. All right, the fall of the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, it fell, then ultimately came back during the Renaissance period, man. That's when the images, all right, through iconoclasm of the judges, the real judges of Israel, even ancient pictures of Yahushua, man, were dark images, so-called, man. Men of color, Israelites, man. Okay, so we know Esau tried to erase their history, and now he's mirroring ancient Rome again, because ultimately he's trying to do what? Fulfill that NWO. That's his piece and his chief enterprise, man. Where he feels that, okay, it's gonna give him total global domination, man. That's that one thing, man. The Revelation 13 when we're reading. But it says, whose deadly wound was healed. Now it says ancient Rome, plebeians and patricians. It says Roman citizens were divided up into two distinct classes. The plebeians and the patricians. The patricians were the wealthy upper class. Everyone else was considered a plebeian. Read it again. The patricians were the wealthy upper class people. You could liken it to the Republicans, the wealthy upper class. But it's a mirror, it's a mirage of, okay, well, we got the wealthy upper class fight for their rights, and on the Democrat side, you got the poor fight for their rights. So it's one against another, one against another, but you have two wings on the same bird flying to the same destination, which is what? The NWO, which is what? Persecute the Israelites. Come down with great wrath. Total world domination, man. And how about Shimei Shah just controlling that bird, and he's going to pluck those feathers and get you out of here, Esau. But it says patricians. Now, this is the wealthy class. It says patricians were the ruling class of the Roman Empire, the early Roman Empire. Only certain families were part of the patrician class, and you had to be born a patrician.
Hey,
You see? You got it, bro.
doesn't that sound like today in the political, like, as far as when you go into the presidents, man, these presidents are all tied in, man. They all family tied. All right, that's what I want to say. They all family tied, man. You have what? George 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 Bush Senior, George Bush Junior. All right, you have the Clintons. Uh, who else? You have the Reagans. You have all of these people, man. They're all within the that family tree, man. And man, there's a photo, man. There's a photo of the family tree that goes into that, man. Going into
how it links the different presidents going back to each other, man. All connected in some way. Just like we see different videos 20 years ago, 30 years ago, just saying things that by these different so-called left-handed seers, Joe Biden, Fauci, they saying things that's actually happened today, and you'll see news clips and things like that, man. So the Lord doesn't miss, man. The Lord is stirring up these kings and controls their mind to ultimately do what? Fulfill prophecy in the will of the Lord. So prophecy can stand. You got it, bro.
That makes me think about that scripture where it says they think that their generation shall continue on forever and
forever. That name.
Yeah, that name. So if they're all family tied, then they're expecting for their generation to continue within those branches.
This is Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
That's right.
And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
That's right, man. So they think that their houses shall stand for and be given to the next generation. My son is going to be in the next office, or he's going to be vice president.
That's right here. And that's what a monarchy is. It says monarchy. It says a state that has a monarchy, kingship, the monarch and royal family of a country, the monarchy. It says, what defines monarchy? Monarchy is a political system based upon the undivided sovereignty or rule of a single person. The term applies to states in which supreme authority is vested in a monarch, an individual ruler who functions as the head of state and who achieves his or her position through heredity. Yeah. It's basically your lineage, passing it down.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that word heredity for you. I'm going to read it out. All right, this is the word heredity. It says the passing on of physical or mental characteristics genetically from generation to another. The inheritance of a title, office, or right.
That's right, man. So basically, that's how they keep everything linked into their own family, man.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna give this information. I'm gonna pass this information on to my son and my daughter, and then when they get older, they're gonna pass it on to their son and daughter, and we're gonna continue to have this forever wealth. All right, forever be in this position of power, and that's how they don't fall, man. But the Lord has a plan, man, and as you can see, it's happening, man. All right, this place is divided. Even within their own. Within their cities, man. All right, the scriptures say a nation divided cannot stand, man. All right, kingdom divided cannot stand.
It says the inheritance of a title, office, or right, and you liken that onto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, his temple, this third temple that's being built. All right. Ultimately, our faith is that we ultimately go back to Isaac, Jacob, Abraham. That's our faith. That we're ultimately descendants. We're ultimately hereditary from those generations of people, man. That's our faith in the earth today, man. We pray to the Lord for that, man. Lord, please, if I be of that number, because if to be of the elect means you're the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Yahushua, man. We've been there from the beginning. So, like it says, heredity, it says, the sum of all biological process by which particular characteristics are transmitted from parents to the offspring. And that's how you can liken on to the kingdom of heaven. But Esau, Edom was trying to rule that. Back to the point, they were trying to rule in that. in ancient Rome, man. Like the article's going into. All right. Well, back in that article, okay, it's the article. Let's see where we at. Plebeians and patricians. It says the patricians were only a small percentage of the Roman population, but they held all the power. How did they hold all the power? By keeping it in their lineage. All right, by keeping it amongst a small group. You see? So anything outside of that was the poor. They didn't have access to the assets. They didn't have access to the resources to control anything.
Right.
They just basically took the bread that was given onto them. Bread of circus. They took the lies that was given onto them, and they did what? Used it to survive, and they became adapted under them, man. Hellenized, in other words. All right? But this is Revelation. Oslaki, it says plebeians. It says plebeians. Plebeians were all the other citizens of Rome, the farmers, craftsmen, laborers, and soldiers of Rome. Basically the working class, man. The poor, man. You know what I'm saying? Basically going to the system and getting their daily bread, man. You know? That's why the Lord said, Yahushua said what? Render unto Caesar what it is, man. Because they were taxing heavy. They were doing the same things in ancient Rome here in America, man. And you had to come to them to make it seem like you were choosing power. You were choosing your leaders. You know, make it seem like, oh, freedom of thought. But it's really being controlled behind the scenes. But it says, in the early stages of Rome, the plebeians had few rights. All of the government and religious positions were held by patricians. The patricians made the laws, owned the lands, and were the generals over the army. So they had no control, man. They had the military, and that's likened on to America. Basically, those three unclean frogs. Judicial, legislative, executive, which goes into London, the Vatican, and DC, man. Military, religious, and money. The patricians controlled all that in ancient Rome, and today it's likened on to what? The Republicans and the Democrats, man. One controlling the wealth, one trying to get better rights, one trying to get better living conditions, man. It's all a reincarnation, man. This is spiritual Rome, but it says the patricians made the laws. The plebeians couldn't hold public office and were not allowed to marry patricians. You see, so they had to actually.
That's why, because
You got it,
to
brother.
keep it in the family, man. They had to keep it in the family. That's why. Because what happens whenever a woman gets married? Usually the inheritance goes, you know, to the husband, man.
Right.
So they had to keep it within the family, man. All right. That's it.
Yeah. I got some real
All right.
quick. This is First Maccabees, chapter 8. We can get into the lecture. It's First Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 15. It says, moreover, and this is ancient Rome, man. It says, moreover, how they had made for themselves a Senate house, and that's likened on to ancient Rome, but America has mirrored that same thing today, man. That's how you know who's in control. That's how you know who's in leadership, right? And the same thing is mirroring ancient Rome due to what? Its oppression on Israel, man. All right? That woman, persecuting that woman, man. But it says, they made themselves a Senate house wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting all way for the people. So they made the laws, they made the regulations for the people to follow, man. So it wasn't no, okay, well, I need some political assistance. I need some financial assistance. No, you have to go to me. Can I choose? Can I do this? No, you have to go to me. I'll make your decisions for you. And now it's the same way with the bread and circus here in America. What? Oh, you got the freedom of choice. It's all mirroring ancient Rome, man. But it says, and that they committed their government to one man every year who ruled over all the country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them, you see? So they had that all power, man. Caesars, emperors, all power, man. But it was a spiral of backstabbing, rising of power, pulling down of power, coming up of power, man. Just like you have it in today. This judge elected, that judge, this mayor, that governor, this senator, you know what I mean? That president. Rising power and the pulling down of power. You got it, huh?
All right.
Election.
Let's see. I just got a quick one real quick. This is Judges 10 and 14, and it says, "Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation." So basically, these people, these politicians, all right, or these presidents, whoever you may pick, to govern over you, to rule over you, all right, to the ones that you put your belief in to get you out of those situations or better your life. The Lord says, man, when the time comes, when the time of Jacob's trouble comes, or the time that tribulation comes to you, go pray to those gods, man. Go pray to those people that you set up in those positions of power to deliver you from your troubles.
That's right.
Because that's ultimately what we're gonna come into. And then in that day, even the ones who you've chosen, they're
Right.
gonna be seeking for help, man. They won't be able to help
Yeah,
you.
the scriptures tell you righteous shall scarcely be saved, man.
Yeah.
So the elect is gonna be like it tells you in a moment, a twinkling of an eye.
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon, this shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Those things are gonna be hitting us coming towards us head on, man. We're gonna be taking these things, these adversities, these certain things that come towards us head on, man. And no fear. And instability with a stable mind to know, hey, if I gotta go out and be a martyr for the will of the Lord, that's my will. That was the Lord's will. We'll fight for a greater cause, not some cause that you could go put a paper in a box for, man, or that you could go check off electronically for and say, okay, well, this is the better way. No, man, choose Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. The Lord said it forth. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that for you. The Lord said it forth, man, before us. Get it real quick, guys. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 19. It says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
That's right. In that life, the Lord has given you the choice of life and death. All right, life being this word.
That's right.
All right, and death being this world, man, and the people that's in it. Because those people that you're choosing, they're dead too, man. The
Right.
scriptures say, the blind, they shall both fall into a ditch.
You get that word vote? That's what it basically means, man. When you vote, you choose. The Lord chose Israel. The Lord said it before, saying, choose life or death. You choose life, you're going to get the consequences added with that, which is what? Righteousness, eternal life. But you're going to have to follow some commandments. You choose death, you're going to get the consequences and the wages of that. If you've been putting money in on that side to sin, which is death, man, and you're going to be given over to that. But it says, therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou may lovest the Lord thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life. You see, so the Lord is telling you was life. If you choose life, the Lord is thy life. You got to make the Lord your life, man, if you want to live, man. You can't make this political agenda your life, man. I'm surrounded by, well, they need some new park benches. That park needs to, those roads need to be fixed. You know what I mean? Like how the political squanders, man. Those roads need to be fixed. I'm lobbying for that. Oh, we need better restrooms. We need this, we need that, man. No, man. Do that in the scriptures, righteously. But it says, cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, and that thou may dwellest in the land, mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto you fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. You see? So that's where we ultimately want to dwell in, because we know they have strangers in our land right now, man. We want to dwell in our land, man, with the strangers of the nation of Israel ultimately, which is the 2/3, man, because they're going to be back in their right mind in the kingdom, man. So ultimately, we want the restoration of Israel, man. We voted, all right, a long time ago if we be at that number, man. We were chosen a long time ago by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. We don't need to choose any stranger, go down to Egypt for help, man, and choose the next oppressor who's going to secretly plot our demise, man. We brought out the Triple K and how they get down, man. Choose Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. That was it, man.
I got the definition of vote.
Yep, bring it up.
All right. It says a poll. It says poll, election, public vote, local election, or popular vote. It says a show of hands. All right. So, you know, again, like the brother said, choose what, life or death.
Mm-hmm.
So by a show of hands, who's gonna, the elect? Lord willing, we be of the elect.
Yeah.
We showed our hands that we want to be of life, man.
We showing it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
We showing it right now. This is all a part of it. Matter of fact, I got you one. Now you break it down. It's 2 Peter 1:10. It says, "Wherefore the rather, brethren," and pay attention to this word. It says, "Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall."
That's right. So give your diligence to Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's choosing life. That's what we do every day. By giving our calling and election sure, we're choosing life. Right. We're choosing Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're choosing to put him forth. We voted, man. A long time ago, our spirit bear witness.
Shit, we vote every day for the Lord. When we vote
decisions.
That's right. Decisions. That's right.
That's right, brother. And I got one back here. You got some more?
That's it on that one. I'm gonna look up another word.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 4. It says, "But what said the answer of Yahweh unto them? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal." And that's likened on to the elect, man. That election, that remnant. All right, 7,000 going into completion, man. The elect were made complete through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua from the beginning. We're being made complete every day in that fiery trial, being made tried as gold. And we're going to be made complete with those spiritual bodies, man. Those heavenly bodies, man. And getting out of these earthly bodies. We're looking forward to that. But it says, "Even so, then at this present time, also," you see, right now, man. Right now, today. This is what we're fighting for. "Even so now at this present time, there's a remnant according to the election of grace." You see, a remnant. So the Most High has reserved 7,000, a remnant, the elect, the 144,000 out of the 1/3. All right, the 2/3 will be burnt up in this third world's war, man. These calamities of Jacob's trouble, man, for choosing death. All right, according to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, man, for choosing the way out of the way, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the righteous are going to be rewarded for choosing life. Simply as that, man, through their faith, through the grace of the election. But it says, "And if by grace, there is it no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded." You see, the election have obtained it, but the rest were blinded, man. Israel, 2/3 of our people, all right, which tells you, scriptures tell you all Israel is not an Israel. So 2/3 of our people have not obtained this, man. That's why they're walking in that shadow of death, man. Continually, every day, going down to the polls and figuring that's going to change something, man. The only thing that's going to change this place, get it in 2nd Ezra, the Lord sent scourges for amendment, man. The Lord is going to send scourges for amendment, man. Since we want to get into political terms, like Esau says, be politically correct. Okay, the Lord is going to send scourges for amendments on this side, man. That's going to change this place. Not a so-called stranger, the next leader. Because what are they ultimately going to do? Go 4 years in office, right? Then at the end of the 4-year period, thinking, what have they done? But try to glorify themselves. Put themselves on the pedestal. I did this, I did that. Vote for me. I'm like this, I'm like that. But when you get in, you just abiding by the system.
Yeah.
The beast, the image of the beast. You just going after the image of the beast and promoting that, man. You got it? You got to break it down.
This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish."
One more time.
It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 19, "Behold, famine and plagues, tribulation, and anguish.
Famine, plagues, tribulation, and anguish. That's a category of things that are hitting this place and going to continually keep hitting this place to ultimately overthrow Babylon with great violence, man. All right? But it's going to ultimately do something. Go ahead, brother.
All right. It says,
You good.
all right, 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. Again, it says, behold, famine and plagues and tribulation and anguish are set as a scourge for a mimic. Scourges, like it. As
Punishments, strikings, floggings, spiritual blows, spiritual strikes and stabbings, man, for amendment. You got the word amendment?
That's what I was getting into. Amendment, it says change.
So those things, famine, pestilence, though they're sent for scourges or blows of change to change this place.
That's right.
To let you know the Lord's prophecy is going to stand. The Lord's will remain. Not any other will that any other political agenda is pushing, man. Democrats or Republicans, man. The will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, who created all things, is going to stand.
That's right.
You got it, brother.
It also has modifications. It says adjustments. And it says, to rewrite, man. So to rewrite, man, rewrite the wrong that Esau has put out there, man.
Yeah.
The judgments that he set up, the wickedness, the light, the darkness for light and the light for darkness that he's put out there in his laws and the systems and the society. Those are going to be rewritten or rewritten whenever the Lord comes back, man. He's going to rewrite and set everything into order again, man.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, the Lord is rewriting the narrative that Esau put out.
That's right.
He's literally rewriting it and saying, hey, look, this is not true. This is untrue. This is the real narrative. Here you go. And the truth is coming out. And it's bursting through that window, that dark window that Esau operates behind. Because you can't see that, man. Just like in the Wizard of Oz, right? The guy that was operating the eyes, when they finally got down to it and saw the mystery of who the Oz was, he was just looming over everything, making judgments. He was making judgments in that movie. He was the big dog in that movie. Like it on the Esau Edom. He was the overwhelming so-called spirit that was just operating everything and making everything move. So when they finally got to the bottom of who he was, man, and they uncovered who he was in a little, I think it was her dog that did it, uncovered the little the curtain. It was a small, pale, pasty Edomite, man, operating as the eyes, man. Not even the image that he put out himself, man. Just operating on a false pretense. But you got that. You can get that word election. You got
Let me see. I'm looking for one real quick. It's what it says.
I got a quick one.
All right.
This is Romans 9:11. Now I'm gonna get that word election in Zion and Bible dictionaries. Romans 9:11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua according to election, the elect by election from the beginning, the foundations of the earth, might stand, not of works, but of him that called it. Because the Lord ultimately called us, man. Not of works, meaning what? Not of rallying at a speech, having a speech rally saying what you're gonna do your next term in office. No, man. But by him that called it. This is a spiritual house, man. This is built by him that called it. The Lord called us to do these things. We didn't just sign up and say, I'm going to, because anybody can roughly do those things, run for different offices. You know what I mean? A lot of those qualifications, they don't really have a lot of qualifications except like presidency, you know what I'm saying? Governors, senators. Like these mayors, they don't have a lot of qualifications.
No.
To be a mayor. These aldermen, you know what I mean? These lower level school board members and things like that. You don't have to. Yeah, bro.
Anybody can run, bro.
So exactly, bro. You know what I mean? So we were built by him that called it. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua called it according to the purpose of the election. And I got that word. You got something?
I got something. This is Isaiah 46 and 10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my my pleasure.
You gotta read that one more time, man.
Con. This is Isaiah 46:10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and the ancient Shalaki, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Man. So the scriptures say, man,
end from the beginning.
Yeah, he declared the end from the beginning, man. All right, going back into the title of the lesson, you know, the elect, man. All right, the elect was chosen from the foundation of the earth, man. From the foundation, you know, of everything. When everything was, it was already set in stone, man. All right, how everything would be played out. All right, you got it. If you had one.
Yeah, I got one. It's that word elect up in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. I'm gonna read down. You was just tell me what you want. It says elect, chosen, right? Elect. It says elect, meaning chosen. In the Old Testament, Moses is called the chosen of the Most High. The nation of Israel is 6 times noted as the Most High's chosen people. All right, and many more. All right. It says David is once called the Most High's chosen one. And check this out, Akim. It says, in prophecy, Yahushua Mashiach is set forth as the Most High's elect one. It says, here it goes. The redeemed Israelites of the future will be God's, Yahweh's elect. The redeemed Israelites of the future will be Yahweh's elect, man. The redeemed Israelites, man. Redeemed from how? Spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Lord said we were bought with a price, man. So the Lord is going to come redeem us. Scriptures tell you, I know that my Redeemer liveth, and he shall stand for me in the latter day. Though my flesh basically inherits worms, in my flesh I shall see Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that's the faith and the hope and the patience of the saints, man. We want to see Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the flesh, man. All right? We want to see the Father in his glory. We want to be that part of that inheritance, man. A part of that like we brought out earlier, that heredity. You see? But it says, I'm going to read it again. The redeemed Israelites of the future will be God's elect. It says, I'm going to read it again. Go down to election. I'm going to read down to about the last paragraph. It says, election. Now, this is the word election, Hakeem. That was elect. Elect meaning the redeemed Israelites of the future. Okay? And election meaning, it says, when election refers to salvation, its objects are individual men. So the Lord's elect are individual men. That's what it's saying, man. Of the objects of salvation, because like it said, for the elect's sake, man. Like we was talking about, for the elect's sake, the days are short, man. Right. But it says, okay, the concept of universal election, meaning everybody can be saved, everybody can be accepted in the kingdom of heaven. The concept of universal election is foreign to the scriptures, meaning what? Strange to the scriptures, man. All right? The whole idea of everyone can be saved, that's strange in the scriptures, man. So why go down and set a stranger over you? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Why set a stranger over you if universal election is strange to the scriptures, man? If everybody can be saved, if you're a part of that election, if you're a part of that nation that can be saved, why would you want to save others that your creator, who's not only controlling everything, but he's controlling you, has set out for you, man? We got to operate under the will of the Lord. But it says, the letter N, it says, rather particular election only is taught. And like the brother brought out from the beginning, my counsel shall stand. You got it, brother. I'll read it for you. It's that word election in online etymology. It says election. Ooh, it says election. It says election, the act of choosing someone to occupy a position, elevation to office. Also, the holding of a vote. The holding of a vote by a body of electors by established procedure. The time and place of such a vote. Let me keep going.
I think that's it.
It says to collect, to gather. To gather, selection, choice, pick out, to choose. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, when we read that scripture where it says, "My counsel shall stand, my election shall stand," that's what it's going into, man. The Lord, the, who the Lord has chosen from the foundations of the earth, that's who is set in stone to, be the rulers, be the, of the whole universe, man. All right, of everything. To set everything back into its rightful order, man. And that's what they ultimately doing on the earth right now until they get to that, that back to their positions, sitting on their thrones, man. All right, judging the 12 tribes of Israel and judging the nations. All right.
Yep.
Come on, all right.
This is Wisdom of Solomon. You got it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, "They shall judge the nations." It's talking about the elect. It says, "They shall judge the nations, and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever." So we're gonna get dominion over the people. All right. We're not trying to suit up and say, "Well, you know what? I want to be the next senator, governor." We're already senators and governors in the spirit realm, man. We're just playing it out to get our reward, to get our crown of light, man, to restore us. So we're already spiritual governors, spiritual legislators, spiritual ambassadors, so to speak, in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But it says, "And the Lord shall reign forever," verse 9, that Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9, "that they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he cared for his elect."
I got one.
All right, it says, "For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he cared for his elect," man. So the Lord cared for us. All right, the Lord is going to give us our reward in due time, man. He's going to give us to be able to judge over the nations, rule over the people, man. But it's going to be in righteousness. The Lord doesn't want us governing and operating in wickedness, man. And under the cloth and the shadow of America. Yes, we see all these political leaders and we see the influence they have, but we're not persuaded by it. We're persuaded by the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The Lord said in Romans 11, "I reserved 7,000 men that have not bowed to the knee of Baal." All right, Lord willing, we're a part of that election. You got to take it out of here.
All right, this is Revelations 2 and 25. It says, "But that which ye have already hold fast till I come," which is this truth. We hold it fast unto this truth, man. We're not worrying about being, political heads, of these different states or the world, man. All right, we're only looking to try to, gain the kingdom, man. Real rulership, real dominance. It says, "And he that overcome cometh and keepeth my words unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." Mm-hmm. All right, so the Lord's going to give you power over the nations for being obedient. That's right, huh?
Overcoming.
Yeah.
Patience. That's a quality of the saints, man. We have to be patient. We see these. Let's just pass our. Yes, we know that it's so-called election day, voting day, but guess what? We're patient enough to say that right there, that's not it. This right here, this is it. We're willing to wait for it. All right? That's right, brother.
That's right. All right, and it says, "And he shall rule them with a rod of iron." And it says, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father." So basically, man, we're gonna rule these nations with a rod of iron, with correction. We're gonna, govern over them, man. Show them the right ways of how to, govern a nation, govern the world. Show them the right way. Be kings and rulers. Forever. Yeah.
You gotta fight for it.
That's right. And with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. We're gonna face the east, and we're gonna give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
All right, dub honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to you, Akim, as Christmas truth and sincerity. All right, until the next time, we're gonna say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, Lord willing, we see you on the highways and the byways. All right, with Abal Gabal.
Baba.
All right, Kwame Yashala.
Kwame Yashala. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.